Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has issued a strong warning to Nigerian politicians against using religion and ethnicity to divide citizens. The warning comes as Nigeria continues to face intense political competition and growing debates over the country's future. CAN's message is straightforward. Politicians should not turn religious or ethnic differences into weapons for winning political support. The call was made in connection with the Eid al-Maulud celebration, as the Christian body urged Nigerians to promote peace, unity, and peaceful coexistence. The warning is particularly significant in a country as diverse as Nigeria. Nigeria is home to people from different ethnic groups, religious backgrounds, and cultural traditions. For decades, Nigerians have lived, worked, traded, and built communities across these boundaries. But during political season, those differences can sometimes become tools for mobilization. A politician may appeal to a particular ethnic group. Another may attempt to mobilize voters through religious identity. And before long, political competition can become a struggle between communities rather than a debate over ideas, policies, and leadership. That is precisely the kind of politics CAN is warning against. The Christian Association is urging political leaders to remember that Nigeria belongs to everyone. No ethnic group owns the country. No religion owns Nigeria. And no political party should be allowed to convince citizens that their neighbors are enemies simply because they belong to a different faith or ethnic community. This message carries particular weight ahead of future elections. When political competition is expected to intensify, campaigns will become louder. Political parties will seek supporters. Candidates will attempt to build alliances. But CAN's warning is that politicians must not cross the line into rhetoric that can inflame religious or ethnic tensions. The consequences of such politics can be serious. Words from political leaders can travel quickly, especially through social media. A statement made at a political rally can reach millions of people within minutes. And when those statements exploit existing religious or ethnic sensitivities, the consequences can extend far beyond the campaign. Nigeria has seen the damage that division can cause. Communities can become suspicious of one another. Political disagreements can become personal, and ordinary citizens can become victims of conflicts they did not create. That is why CAN's call is essentially a call for responsible leadership. Political leaders should compete on their records. They should explain how they intend to improve the economy. They should discuss security. They should present credible plans for employment, education, healthcare, and infrastructure. They should tell Nigerians how they intend to make life better. But religion and ethnicity should not become shortcuts to political power. A candidate should be able to ask for votes from Nigerians because of their policies, character, and competence, not simply because they belong to the same ethnic or religious group. And voters, too, have a role to play. Citizens must reject attempts to manipulate them through hatred. A Nigerian does not become an enemy because he or she worships differently. A Nigerian does not become less patriotic because he or she speaks another language. And political disagreement should never be treated as a justification for violence. This is particularly important during religious celebrations. Eid al-Maulud is a significant occasion for Muslims, commemorating the birth of Prophet Muhammad. It is also an opportunity for Nigerians to reflect on values such as peace, compassion, respect, and peaceful coexistence. CAN's intervention therefore sends a broader message. Nigerians' religious communities should not merely tolerate one another. They should be able to coexist peacefully and recognize that the country's diversity can be a strength rather than a weakness. That requires responsible leadership. It requires religious leaders to promote peace. It requires political leaders to avoid inflammatory language. And it requires citizens to reject messages designed to turn one community against one another. The warning also comes at a time when social media has dramatically changed political communication. A politician no longer needs a television station or newspaper to reach a national audience. A single video, speech, or social media post can spread across the country almost instantly. That makes responsible communication even more important. Leaders have influence. Their words matter. And when politicians deliberately exploit ethnic or religious emotions, they may create divisions that remain long after an election has ended. But Nigeria's challenges cannot be solved through division. The country needs cooperation. It needs citizens from different regions working together. It needs Christians and Muslims protecting one another's right to worship. It needs different ethnic communities participating equally in national development. And it needs political leaders who understand that winning an election is not the same thing as building a nation. After elections are over, Nigerians still have to live together. They still have to work together. They still have to trade with one another. They still have to attend schools, use hospitals, travel on the same routes, and raise families in the same country. That is why Khan's message deserves attention. Political power is temporary, but the consequences of division can last for generations. Nigeria has already paid a heavy price for ethnic and religious conflicts. The country cannot afford politicians who deliberately deepen those divisions for political advantage. Instead, Nigerians need leaders who can speak across religious and ethnic boundaries. Leaders who can visit communities different from their own. Leaders who can appoint people based on competence. Leaders who can disagree politically without turning opponents into enemies. And leaders who can remind Nigerians that they have more in common than what separates them. The Khan warning is there for more than a message to politicians. It is also a message to ordinary Nigerians. Do not allow anyone to use your religion against your neighbor. Do not allow ethnic identity to determine who deserves respect. And do not allow political campaigns to convince you that another Nigerian is your enemy simply because they support a different candidate. Nigerian diversity is a reality. The challenge is turning that diversity into strength, and that requires deliberate efforts. As political activity increases, Nigerians will hear many promises. They will hear accusations. They will hear campaign slogans. They will hear politicians asking for votes. But citizens must ask the most important questions. What are the policies? What is the record? What is the plan for security and economic development? And what kind of Nigerian will these candidates build? Those questions are far more important than someone's religion or ethnic background, because at the end of the day, Nigerians share the same country. They share many of the same challenges. They face the same economic pressures. They want safer communities. They want better jobs. They want good schools. They want functioning hospitals. They want justice. And they want a country where their children can grow without fear. Those aspirations do not belong to one religion or one ethnic group. They belong to Nigerians. That is why Khan's warning to politicians is timely. Do not divide Nigerians along religious or ethnic lines for political gain. Nigeria needs politics that unites rather than politics that inflames. It needs competition without hatred. It needs disagreements without violence. And above all, it needs leaders who understand that the responsibility of governing Nigeria is bigger than winning an election. What do you think? Should politicians face stronger consequences when their speeches deliberately exploit religious or ethnic divisions? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you find this report informative, kindly like, share, and subscribe for more news updates. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching.